Hey bitches, this is Tom coming to you from Shanghai and I'm back for another Eurovision reaction video. Today we're going to be discussing the results of Norway's national final, second semi-final. I'm going to be giving my opinion on the 4 songs that competed and also the automatic qualifier from that semi as well. In regards to the background, you may notice it's different. I'm on the road right now, it's Chinese New Year, so for the next week I'm going to be traveling around. Don't worry, I'm not going to Wuhan, so don't need to worry about me getting any kind of new exotic diseases. One small point, I'm very anxious about putting national final videos here because I have heard of people, especially with Vidbeer and Melody Festival, getting copyright strikes because of it. It doesn't seem that Norway are being the same with that. So next week's video, I will probably do live reactions to the song because this week I had a very big reaction to one of them and I kind of wish I'd caught it on camera. Let's come to the second semi-final. So first up we had Tori. I did actually watch this whole song. It was fine. I felt that it was really targeted towards a much older demographic who are kind of going for a little bit of a nostalgia back to, I don't know, showboat times. Like 60, 70, 80-year-olds. I hate the audio version on YouTube. I didn't hate it as much as this. It was kind of fun, but it just really was out of its league big time. It was strange because I was actually, when I was watching Tori's performance, I was like, is this one of these bizarre instances where he's going to end up like winning? I just had this like, I was just imagining this universe where maybe Tori would win. It's nice to have a same-sex song with same-sex lyrics, but really other than that, it was just a little bit of a flop. I was kind of thinking whoever drew him in their semi was really lucky. Next up we had Kim and Maria doing their very Bondy duet. They both had great voices. I was a little bit turned up by Kim's body language. He was very static with his arms beside his side. It looked a bit too uncomfortable or nervous, which you don't really want with a kind of like Bond-esque song. You want the guy to be like very smoltery and powerful feeling. Also took them quite a lot to look at each other. They were just kind of like the two of them just standing there for like maybe like a minute not looking at each other, which I thought was a little bit odd. There was one bit of the performance I loved where it showed them looking out into the audience and you turn around, there were loads of violins behind. It was very reminiscent of Philip Cockcroft because that's something he loves to do in all his performances. He loves to have it that you look one angle and then you turn back and then whoa, there's 5 people who've appeared out of nowhere. So I love that they did that. The vocals were great. I thought the climax was great. Still missing something for me from a little bit of the chorus. I will probably download this eventually, but I'll probably save it. I like to save some songs for later on in the season, kind of after March where no new songs are being released. My last comment was that the on-stage story was a little bit confusing, but they eventually pulled it together. It was a decent performance. Obviously the correct decision that they went through to the final. To the second duel, first up was Jaeger with How About Mars. Now, I didn't think she did bad. I don't know what age she is. She doesn't have her own Wikipedia page yet. She looks quite young. I have to admit, first thing I thought was she was wearing way too much makeup and had this close-up of her face and it just looked so caked on. And I was like, have they not sorted out foundation in the future? It was distracting. Overall, really hard performance to pull off. They left her on her own. They gave her a lot of kind of visual cues like Dami Im from 2016. They were actually a bit too reminiscent of that, where she had to swipe across things and she was doing lots of swiping up and she mistimed it. It looked clunky. I felt like they gave her a little bit too much to do. She actually, fair play to her because I think it's a very hard song to sing, especially on her own, and she pulled it off the majority of the time. The bridge where she kind of got a bit grungy, she didn't pull it off. It was a bit cringe. I don't massively think it fit in the song. And then my main problem with the song is it just doesn't climax at all. The third chorus sounds the same as the second and the first. So I still think that this was a song that would have been deserving to be in the final, but being up against Ryan, really, she didn't have much of a chance. I thought some of the styling was really cool. Her outfit was cool. Some of the camera effects were good as well. She was as committed as she could have been, but I probably just don't think she's got enough experience maybe. It would have been nice for her to like doing some like kind of like very unusual futuristic type dancing. The dancing looked a little bit 90s, and when you think about a futuristic song, you kind of almost want something a little bit. Do you remember Can't Get You Out of My Head? I thought the dancing in that for its time was quite futuristic, and that was the theme of the music video as well. Okay, so coming to the dessert for this whole show. Now, so I don't know if you saw, but after I did my first reaction to these semi 2 songs, I wrote a disclaimer because while I was editing it, I was like, oh, I really like Ryan's song a lot. And then I woke up the next morning with it in my head and I was then listening to it all day. So I actually left a disclaimer at the bottom of that video saying, update, I'm obsessed with this song now. Going into the semi, I was very much rooting for him to win. Now, as soon as the performance started, I was like, whoa, the dry ice, the atmosphere. I've written down here, I'm in love. Oh my God, I fucking love this. The first two things I've written down. And then they had the guys rising up like undead pirates. It was very Game of Thrones. I absolutely loved it. It brought the melodrama in the best possible way. He was the absolute star for me though. He just looks so... He's like an actor almost. It was the mood or the tableau that he had created. He did not break for 1 millisecond. He totally looked like a Game of Thrones character for the whole thing. 100% committed to this kind of Viking persona. Super confident, body language perfect from the very first second. Voice absolutely fantastic, really effortless, that kind of like Adele quality where she's singing a song. It's just like she's just no bother whatsoever. There's no chance she's going to miss a note. It's just too easy for her, and I really got that from him as well. It was just so competent, really competent, strong performance, professional, like just top end. And then the bit with the fire. So he brings some fire out of his hand. I full on gasped, like I properly went. I was properly shook. It was so... It was like a lesson in how to do it. Because we've seen this flop before. Emma's Circle of Light, I keep ragging on Emma. But when she had her fire, God, that didn't work at all. And it was too obvious it was coming because she had the torch. Whereas this was just... the timing of it was perfect as well. I'm pretty sure it came during the bridge. It was so slick. It was just so well done. And then he put it out and everything worked. It was fantastic. And he was working his face at the time. It didn't look like he was anxious about whether it would work or not. He was 100% committed. His acting and his performance were just sensational. I've also written down that the workout that the guys were doing behind him is the hottest new war workout. So hopefully that's going to be the new trend in Norway. It was just absolutely spectacular. This is the performance that is very reminiscent of Norway last year. It's that slightly naff, but still extremely high quality, fantastic slice of pop song with a really strong theme, with total commitment and perfectly executed. I can very much see this winning Melody Grand Prix, qualifying for the grand final, and I wouldn't say winning the televote, but being top 10, top 5 in the televote. Keep as well, this really reminds me of Rasmussen, Denmark 2017, which came 7th, I think, in the televote, or maybe 6th. And so it's almost like a mix of Rasmussen and Norway from last year. This is really strong. It kind of sucks that we have this and we also have Wild, which I think are really two grand songs that will qualify for the grand final, and we still have 3 semis left. For me, this is already the best Melody Grand Prix that I can think of. So yeah, absolutely in love with this. I was cheering for Ryan, very happy that he got through. And then finally we had the second mono qualifier. It was Didrik and Emil singing Out of Air. Oh God. Okay, this was a little bit, I wouldn't say it was a shit show, but it was borderline shit show. I thought it was very super safe, pretty competent, a little bit boring. The first half was fine. The lyrics are weird. It's two brothers singing. It almost sounds like a love romance or breakup song or something. It's a bit incestuous, and it's just odd. And if it's not considered incestuous, then the target market is really like young children or very old people. That kind of like Denmark last year type feel. And then they had these two contemporary dancers come in. It was so cringy. I couldn't watch it. It was really unbearable. It didn't work at all. It was just, it was really cringe. This like play acting, and then it just made it almost look they're having like this incestuous teenage gay relationship. It was just weird, and I was cringing through the whole thing. Then the kids went and they started doing some choreography. The choreography was really bad. It was out of time. And again, it was the whole thing was all these things were so distracting because the song is fine. I don't really particularly like it. I don't think it's bad by any means. Like, it's decent enough. It's in the same genre as John Ludwig's song from last year, and that kind of like very kind of safe-ish quality pop song. Nowhere near the quality of John Ludwig, but it's in the same kind of category. But I just found all the cringy elements were just super distracting. I know that Didrik has a relationship with the public because he sang for them, I think it was 2010 or so. But yeah, this just is not an automatic qualify for me. I can see what's happening. It's that to get the quality of songs and they have to promise record companies some automatic qualification, because probably record companies don't want to submit songs into a semi-final. But this really didn't deserve it for me. Kim and Maria, Anna Jaeger, and Ryan all deserve to be ahead of this. So I think it really discredits this system when you've got 3 other songs in the semi which are better than the automatic qualifier. It just comes across as confusing. Overall though, very, very happy with Ryan. I've got another song that I've got on repeat right now. Raylee is leading in play count, but she's been out a week longer. So we're really happy with second semi-final. I thought it was very good quality. I said in my initial video I thought this quality was worse. I take that back. I think it was probably on a par, maybe a little bit above actually in the end. The performances were really excellent. Loving MGP this year. It's really, I've never enjoyed it this much ever. So this is really fantastic. A great way for them to celebrate 60 years. So what did you think of MGP semi-final 2? Please leave a comment in the comment section down below. And thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you in another Eurovision reaction video very soon. Goodbye.